Welcome back to another episode of the Girls Cafe, where we create a caring atmosphere for emotions. This is a space for real conversations about resilience, growth, and most importantly, empowerment. I am Shauna, and on today's episode, we'll be discussing opening your heart after a failed relationship. So grab your favorite drink, meal, or snack, settle in, and let's talk about what truly matters. If someone would have told me that even after my divorce that I would find love again, I probably would have laughed. I was ready to give up. But if you would have told me that I would have found love again from Facebook dating, I really would have laughed. Okay? But here I am, proof that love can find you in the most unexpected places. Do you hear me when I say this? The most unexpected places love will find you. I was hesitant, I was skeptical, and honestly, not even sure if I was ready. But little did I know this would be the beginning of something real. At least for me, it was something real, something special, something sacred, something beautiful. So this episode is it's about next chapters, healing and opening your heart even when you're not sure that you're ready. Are you ready? Do you know if you're ready? I didn't. The reality about starting over, I used to have the mind frame of, well, that relationship didn't work, so next. And that worked for me. But when it comes to marriage, divorce wasn't just the end of the marriage, it felt like the end of a dream. I had to grieve the future that I thought I'd have. I was on my second divorce. The first marriage, that don't count. It only counts, if it lasts. If it don't last, it don't count. That's just, that's my view and how I look at it. I could be wrong. Other people, count whatever, but, I don't. If it didn't last, I think a lot of people are with me on that one. The first marriages don't really count unless you made it last in the whole 9 yards or whatever. But anyway, I had common fears. Will I ever trust again? Am I lovable? Do I even want to try? Those are common, those are norms after a divorce. And at some point, I realized I didn't want my past to dictate my future. I deserve love. I just had to believe it again. It's going to be scary. It's going to be hard. It's the unknown. So the unknown for me is definitely scary. But why did I choose Facebook dating? I chose other sites too. It just didn't work out in my benefit. But I wasn't looking for anything too serious. I was looking for companionship. It was COVID. Wanted someone to talk to. I was really just dipping my toe in the water. It felt a little safer than other profiles or other apps because it was tied to my profile on Facebook. It wasn't just that random swipe culture. I was hesitant. I almost didn't go through with it, but a friend of mine, she had been on Facebook dating. I wasn't afraid of rejection. I was just more so afraid of repeating past mistakes and basically wasting my time because people like to waste time. But then I got surprised. I had a conversation that felt different. It wasn't forced, it wasn't a game, it was genuine. And it lasted for 2 hours off rip, right? And unlike past relationships, there was no guessing, there was no anxiety. It was easy, it was comfortable, and it just felt real. That's just been the basis of it all. It's just easy. It's not complicated. It's not arguing all the time. But one of the first signs that this relationship was different, it came early on, shortly after we met. Because, like I said, we met during COVID, right in the dead smack middle of COVID. But let me pause there for a second. My divorce was finalized March of 2022. We had been separated for well over a year. So yeah, finalized March of 2022. I caught COVID 2022 as well. And so I met my now husband in July of 2022 on Facebook dating. And he was going on vacation with his cousin. And again, it's that I wasn't really expecting very much because, again, that mindset, out of sight, out of mind. I had met someone previously on Facebook dating, and they went on vacation, and I didn't hear from that person at all. So that was just my expectation. Like, people go on vacation, I'm not expecting you to really be checking on me or checking for me because, again, you just met me, right? But instead, this man called me every single day, even if it was just for a few minutes. He made the effort. There was no games, it wasn't any mixed signals. It was just someone showing me with actions, not just words, that I mattered, that I meant something to him in that moment. Consistency is everything, and especially to me. It wasn't about grand gestures or big romantic speeches. It was just simple, steady presence that made me feel safe, that made me feel seen, that made me feel wanted. Love that brings peace and balance. And for the first time, I wasn't questioning where I stood. I wasn't wondering if I was too much or not enough. It was just easy. And that's what you want. You want something that's easy, something that you can you can really grab a hold to. It doesn't have to be difficult. But when he came back from vacation, I told him, like, you need to plan our first date. And he did. It was nothing fancy. It wasn't over the top. It was no over the top gestures. It was just something simple but meaningful. Again, we were in COVID. It wasn't a whole lot that you could honestly do. But he took me for ice cream. And then we went to a nearby park and we just talked for hours. Ran into a couple who shared their love story with us. It was no distractions. It was no pressure. It was just two people getting to know each other in the most effortless way. You see, love does not have to be complicated to be real. It doesn't have to be bought. It doesn't have to be attached to gifts and things of that nature or whatever. It's the most simple things that can mean the most. And honestly, looking back, that date set the tone for our relationship. It wasn't about impressing me. It was about being present, about creating a space for real connection. We still make it a point to go out on dates. Sometimes it's expensive dates and sometimes it's just easy, cheap dates. But it's the beauty of ease. That day I realized something, that love doesn't have to feel like a chase. It should just feel natural. And that's exactly what this was. It was just a natural feeling of two people getting to know one another. I guess you could say we were courting each other because a lot of times we don't take the time to court anymore. On that first date, something really felt different. Like I said, there was no pressure to impress, no anxiety about saying the right thing. I just felt that peace. And I'm hoping that he felt that peace as well. Because for the first time in a long time, I wasn't worried about being perfect. I could just be myself, and that was enough. And he could just be himself. The right love doesn't make you feel like you have to prove your worth. I didn't have to perform, overthink, or shrink myself to be accepted. And that's when I knew I was finally in a space where love could grow without fear. That is something beautiful in itself. I'm telling you, it is beautiful. And a lesson to anyone that's listening: if you feel like you have to constantly prove yourself in a relationship, that's not love. That's anxiety, because real love feels like home. It doesn't feel like a test. Now, I'm not going to lie, I tested this man. I would just throw stuff out there just to see how he would respond because for me, I was always the one that was giving and I wanted to be on the receiving end this time. And he was still consistent every single time. If you're holding on to fear, to doubt, to pain of the past, let this be your reminder. Never be afraid to start over. What is meant for you will be. No missed opportunity, no heartbreak, no past mistake can take away what's truly meant for you. Love has a way of finding us when we least expect it, but only if you're open to receiving it. You have to be open. I promise you. Just open your hearts to it. Love after heartbreak isn't about finding someone new to fill a void. It's about healing, learning, and being open to something better, better than what you had. You deserve a love that feels easy, safe, most importantly, consistent, and that love will find you when you're ready to believe in it again. So I'm going to give you a challenge. Are you guys ready to take this challenge? Okay, just say it with me. What is meant for me will be. What is meant for me will be. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you feel you're ready to open your heart again. What is meant for me will be. It's just that simple. I love to hear from you. Have you ever found love after heartbreak? Did you take a chance on love again when you least expected it? Did you find your love on Facebook dating like I did? Because I know a lot of you did. Hey, it was COVID. Did the relationship last? Share your story with me. Leave a comment. Send me a message. If you got my number, text me. Your journey might just inspire someone else to believe and love again. And if this episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend, leave a review. Let's keep building this space for healing, growth, and resilience together. So, next time we're talking about setting healthy boundaries in relationships, whether it's dating, friendships, with your children, or even at work. If you've ever struggled with saying no, putting yourself first, or dealing with toxic patterns, you won't want to miss this episode. It's going to be coming up. I promise you. I'm going to need you guys to tune in. If you got some ideas for it, shoot them my way. Let's discuss. And until next time, peace and one love.